Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. You have found Old Times is Not Forgotten, where we look at unusual stories from the past by reading a vintage newspaper. Today, we're reading the Seattle Post-Intelligencer from Seattle, Washington, dated Wednesday, April 27th, 1910. I'll be putting some 1910s funny video footage in between the newspaper articles, like this one, where everyone is trying to get in front of the camera and nonchalantly just walking around in circles. Daring job done by daylight burglars, New York, April 27, 1910. One of the most daring burglaries on the records of the New York Police Department was committed on Sunday morning at the main ticket office of the Baltimore and Ohio Railroad on Lower Broadway. No announcement of the burglary was made until today. Under the glare of 4 big electric lights in a room, every foot of which was visible to passers-by, in a busy section of New York, the tall safe in the center of the room was drilled, its lock torn away, and all the money and tickets stolen. The burglars got something over $250 in money. Fire departments used to use horses to haul around their heavy engines. Here's a story about that happened in Seattle. Horses hurt going to early morning fire. On their way from the engine house at 7th and Marion, the team attached to Chemical Wagon number 1, responding to an alarm at 2nd Avenue and Marion Street early this morning, ran away. The team had been hitched up, but before the men could get onto the wagon, the horses dashed out down the street and slid on their stomachs from 4th to 3rd Avenues and were badly scratched. The fire in the Melville Hotel caused a loss of about $50. Sometimes these old articles are tragic but unusual. Caught in a folding bed, dies, New York, April 27, 1910. William Smith, a wealthy wallpaper manufacturer of Waterbury, Connecticut, who was on a visit to New York City, was killed today when a folding bed in which he was sleeping closed up in an apartment house on West 33rd Street. His wife, sleeping beside him, was nearly smothered to death in the bed clothing before help came. The video camera was a fairly new device, and people liked to play around with different effects. Here's a split screen of a trolley car and a ferry colliding. In 1910, they used to put convicts to work. Convicts' work puts road in good shape. Convicts at Walla Walla have put the Snoqualmie Pass Road in excellent shape up to the point where new construction has just been ordered, according to automobilists who have made the trip to the present terminus. The convicts have been engaged on the work most of the winter. Several camps were established in the mountains, and the convicts apparently enjoyed the existence. In many localities, good places of heavy grading have been done by the prisoners, and improvements are shown all through the pass. Through time, some things never change, like stubborn mama cats who like to take away their babies from you. And some things do change, like this advertisement. Whiskey for the sick room should be selected with the greatest care, as much depends on its rich, nutritious properties and absolute purity. You can always rely on Sunnybrook, the pure food whiskey, answering every requirement. There used to be an expression when someone lied, they would say, "That was a good chestnut." That explains this joke. When George made a hit, "Darling," he breathed rapturously, "I swear by this great tree whose spreading branches bear witness to my sincerity, I swear that I have never loved before." The girl smiled faintly and observed, "You always say such appropriate things, George. This is a chestnut tree." Serving time. "No man can serve two masters," said the priest to one of his parishioners. "I know that, your reverence. Me brother tried it, and now he's doing time for bigamy." Can you imagine today's boys wearing these creations? Foremost boys' clothing store in town with greatest values, Schaefer Brothers. Boys' suits at $5. Look at these packed stands. Baseball ruled in 1910. Tacoma fans in right field bleachers watched the first game. Looks like they're all men, and they're all wearing a dapper hat. Smash's record at bowling was $7.25. Chicago. Andy Hall, Illinois State bowling champion in 1904, made a bid for the 1910 title here today by rolling a world's record series of 725 in the individual event of the Illinois Bowling Association meet. No crime for wife to steal from husband. Chicago. A wife has a right to rob her husband, according to a decision of Judge Gamel in the municipal court yesterday. Gustav H. DeKolke had his wife arrested for taking his money by force. "My wife robbed me right in my own home," said DeKolke. "She got a boarder and her brother to help hold me. Then she went through my pockets and got $11. Mrs. DeKolke was led up front of the court's desk. "Did you rob him?" "Yes, I did," she said. "There was no other way to get money out of him. He hasn't given me a cent for over a year, so I decided to rob him. I called my brother, and we held him, and I got what was in his pocket." This is a plain case of robbery, but it was perfectly justifiable under the circumstances, said the court. The defendant is discharged. A wife has the right to hold up her husband when he squanders his wages and does not give her enough for her support. Mysterious knowledge. Some years ago, an exhibition from the University of Pennsylvania was sent to one of our southern states for the purpose of observing a solar eclipse. The day before the event, one of the professors said to an old colored man belonging to the household wherein the scientist was quartered, "Tom, if you'll watch your chickens tomorrow morning, you'll find that they all go to roost at 11 o'clock. Tom was, of course, skeptical, but at the appointed hour, the heavens were darkened and the chickens retired to the roost. At this, the man's amazement showed no bounds, and he sought out the scientist. "Professor," said he, "how long ago did you know dem chickens would go to roost?" "About a year ago," said the professor smilingly. "Well, if that don't beat all," was the man's comment. "Professor, a year ago dem's chickens wasn't even hatched." Our final story is about 1910 women. You gentlemen out there, don't you be envying them. Joys of womanhood. "You women," exclaimed the disgusted brother, "simply have a glorious time doing nothing. My word, I envy you your idleness." "Idleness?" shrieked his pretty sister. "Yes, idleness. Oh, why wasn't I born a woman?" "Oh, yes, you'd like to be a woman," retorted the pretty sister. "Just try it for a day. Fasten a blanket and a counterpane around your legs. Buckle a strap around your waist so tight you can't draw a full breath or eat a hearty meal. Have your hair all loose and fluffy so that it keeps tickling your ears and getting into your eyes. Wear high-heeled shoes and gloves a size too small for you. Cover your face with a veil full of spots that make you squint. Fix a large hat on with the pins so that every time the wind blows it pulls your hair out by the roots. And then, without any pockets or with short sleeves and open-work stockings, go for a walk on a winter's day and enjoy yourself. Oh yes, my word, you would like it. Well, folks, thanks for watching some fun from the past. Farewell for now, until next time.